Today, there is a strong, negative stigma surrounding the occupation of prostitution. It is often looked upon as sinful, detestable, and shameful, both for the prostitute and the participants. In ancient Rome, while everyone certainly had their own views of the practice, it was far more socially acceptable. In fact, brothels were somewhat of a staple in vacation cities like Pompeii and Herculaneum. These staples eventually grew to encourage their own form of coinage, called spintriae in the medieval period. The prevalence of prostitution in Roman culture is highlighted through the wide circulation of these coins. Roman brothel tokens were rather obvious to the everyday money handler. The token had various sexual acts depicted on both the front and rear of the coins, usually the participants on the coin in the act of intercourse. Some depicted phalluses instead, full-formed and often with wings attached, likely indicating the virility of the man using the coin. Male prostitutes and female participants were not uncommon, it was far more common. As far as literature can tell, that wealthy males sought the company of a meretrix, or legal female prostitute. It is also notable that the tokens predominantly depict male-female relations rather than relations of the same sex, likely indicating that homosexuality, at least outward homosexuality, had become far less acceptable by the time of the Romans than it was for their predecessors in ancient Greece. One of the most prominent theories about the creation and purpose of the coins was to advertise the prices of sexual acts. Further, in passing a coin between two people, the buyer and the seller, one could maintain a level of privacy. It have been important to those of high status who did not want their late-night dalliances known. It is believed by some scholars that the sex act depicted on each coin corresponds to the price listed on the opposite face. A more recent find of a Roman brothel token in London, called the Putney token, for the bridge it was found near, was examined in 2012. As it is known, the Romans had forts, camps, etc. In ancient Britain, the theory that these coins were used to get around language barriers is furthered. Britain's Romanization was slow, thus so was the spread of the Roman language. However, an image of sexual intercourse is universally understood. It is possible that these tokens were at some point used as a form of payment. Despite circulating only in brothels and between buyers and sellers, there is an indication that it would have been in the participants' best interests if the coins were worth something. Cassius Dio, a Roman historian in the 3rd century AD, recounts one tale during the reign of Caracalla in which a coin bearing the face of the emperor was used in a brothel. This was seemingly seen as an insult to the emperor, and the man who used the coin was sentenced to death. Caracalla has been described as one of the more temperamental emperors of the Roman Empire and perhaps reacted far more angrily than another emperor in this position would have. Thus, one should be careful about putting one's own cultural perspectives on the ancient position, as the influx of Roman tokens found only furthers the reality that prostitution was a highly respected field for a long time.